Hey Capricorn, welcome to my channel, Intuitive Tarot Empath. I'm Robin. This is your general reading for July 2018. In the event that this does or does not resonate with you, go check out the videos for your sun, moon, and or rising signs so that you can get the most amount of information concerning the energy surrounding you at the end of June, all throughout July, and the beginning of August. So with that said, I'm going to shuffle the cards with your energy in mind and pull out some cards and see what's going on with you guys, or see what's in store for you guys. If you don't want to watch this, please feel free to fast forward through this part. So, what are the energies surrounding Capricorn for July 2018? Capricorn, July 2018. Let's see, you guys. Capricorn, 2018. Travel, work, home, family, love. Alright, so I think we have about 3 more shuffles. Alright, one more, and then we will get to it. Alright, let's see. 3 piles. I'm going to say that one. Alright, so I can already tell from the teeth marks on the back of the card that this one is the High Priestess, because my cat went and chewed on it, and now it's got, do you see, like 2 little vampire teeth marks? I don't know that you can see it, it's kind of in the black. Anyway. Alright, the Sun. Yes, Queen. The Justice card, the 9 of Cups in reverse, the 10 of Cups. Oh, boy. King of Swords, Queen of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and Magician. Alright, so I feel like for some of you Capricorns, on the bottom of the deck we have the 5 of Pentacles. So you guys are coming out of a period of time where you felt as though you were left out in the cold. So, you know, a lot of different situations could be the case for that. So if you went through a breakup, you know, if you left someone and it left you brokenhearted, if someone left you and obviously it left you brokenhearted, if you had to quit a job, or if you got fired, or if you were estranged from a family member, you know, you can feel as though you've been left out in the cold, so to speak. And 5s can sometimes in tarot be about conflict, so this can obviously create a personal conflict within your heart. You know, obviously if you lose a job, it creates a personal conflict with your finances. But the beauty of this is that you're no longer in this space. You are actually moving out of it. And that is a wonderful thing. I think that in July, and even currently, your intuition is on high alert. Your brain and your heart are communicating lots of different messages to you guys. And I think that the universe is, you know, pushing you to listen to what your body is telling you, or what your intuition is telling you. And you've been listening to your intuition, which has caused you to have quite some success. So the Sun card is the, you know, if you have a specific question, the answer to it is yes. It's a card of positivity. Some people even say it's the card of children. So I think that you listening to your intuition. Oh my God. Okay. One more time for the cheap seats. So I think that you listening to your intuition is what has gotten you to this really positive, happy place. And I think that also the Sun signifies summertime. So like as you're moving into the summer and as you're moving through July, you have this like really positive, happy, hopeful energy surrounding you that just like keeps pushing you forward, and in fact creates a really good space for you to hit the reset button and like start fresh. So I think that whatever caused this, the breakup, the estrangement, the job situation, the firing, the leaving, the quitting, I feel like when you're in that space where you're feeling as though you've been left behind, it can feel unfair, especially if you're watching other people prosper or move forward or live happily, in comparison to where you are emotionally. And I think that's what's great is that, this may have already happened, this may be on the way to happening, but we have the Justice card, which is saying that justice will be served. So there's fairness coming your way. So like if you feel like someone, that a situation ended and it didn't end the right way, or if it just didn't seem fair because, like if somebody breaks up with you because of something wrong that they've been doing and then they go on to live happily, sometimes we have those moments where we look at that person living happily and we're like, how is that fair? Like, I loved them and I took care of them, and now they're the ones who come out of this like happy and moving forward. But either way, the Justice card says that whatever situation you went through that put you in a place where you felt as though it wasn't fair, justice is being served and the rights or the wrongs are being righted. And, the scale kind of swings in your favor. And also we have the 10 of Cups. So I feel like being in that space where you're watching things finally become fair. So like I said, I think it has not necessarily to do with the fact that the person or people that left you behind are oh my God, I'm sorry. There's a motorcycle outside. It's really loud. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can. It's a little distracting. It's not necessarily that the people who left you behind or the situation that made you feel as though you got left behind, that the people involved in that situation aren't, it's not like something happened that they're doing poorly and that's making you feel as though justice has been served. I think that you listening to your intuition and being given messages by your body, mind, heart, the universe, whatever you feel you're tapped into that gives you messages, it helped you move forward. And it was almost like a switch, this light switch goes on where you're like, oh, wow, okay, time for me to move forward. And I think that within that you found peace, you found happiness, you found emotional contentment. So, through feeling as though justice had been served and through listening to your intuition, you find peace and a new beginning, because 10s in tarot are about new beginnings, ending a cycle so that a new one can begin. And what we have here is the 9 of Cups. So, the 9 of Cups in reverse. So the 9 of Cups, is generally a card of like being good on your own, working really hard for emotional fulfillment. And you'll notice that it's one man sitting in front of a row of cups. It doesn't necessarily have to be a man. This is, gender neutral. So I think that this is speaking to you and the fact that, like, even though you're happy and even though you're happy and even though you're at peace, there's still some things that might be holding you back from being 100% okay on your own. So obviously, if it's a job situation, nobody wants to be a free agent who's not making money. That's terrifying. And especially for a hardworking, logical, down-to-earth Capricorn, you want to have a job, you want to make money. So I think that for some of you, you're still waiting for that opportunity. So then this card is just about like the last 10% of the journey to be fine on your own and to be comfortable, to be happy. Not that you aren't, because you're happy right now, but I think that there's still this feeling of like questioning, am I okay on my own? Am I going to make it? Still those kind of like nagging questions that are in the back of your mind, because we are human and that's what happens. But you're coming into that because as we come into as we come into July, I think that this King of Swords represents you guys. I think that this King of Swords represents you looking forward, looking straight ahead, staying in the present. Kind of, you'll notice that the King of Swords mimics kind of the Justice card because they both have their swords up. So I think that there's a lot of like cutting out the crap. There's a lot of keeping your heads in reality as opposed to in the clouds. There's a lot of communicating, so either communicating with new people for a job, communicating with new people for a relationship. There's a little bit of coldness around this card, so I think that for some of you, you're not hitting these new experiences with a ton of emotion initially. I think that initially you're kind of hesitant, you hold back a little bit, but you're very, very logical and methodical, and so there's like a method to the way that you want to do things. There's a method to your madness. So I think that that's the King of Swords. The King of Swords for some of you could also be a person coming in with an offer. So I could see that as like a boss, somebody who's, you get in contact with who offers you a job. And I say that because the Ace of Cups is in here, and that's new offers of usually emotion, but I feel like offers that you're emotionally connected to. For others of you, this King of Swords could be a person who is coming into your life for some sort of romantic connection, because once again, that Ace of Cups can be the offering of emotion. So here we have the Queen of Wands. This represents you. So I think as we move through July, you are embodying this Queen of Wands energy. So you are doing the things that you are passionate about. You are listening to your intuition. That's what that cat symbolizes, intuition. I think that you really, if you are the Nine of Cups in reverse and you're still a little hesitant to get completely on board because you still have questions, I think that by the time we hit the second week of July or so, and you might already be here, this could be first week of July energy as well, the Queen of Wands suggests that like you're ready. You are, not necessarily like you're on it. I was going to say you're not necessarily at your peak because that would be King of Swords, but I think that this is a much more like even energy. It's a calmer energy. It's a less aggressive energy than a king. So it's like you're coming into it, and this is actually really nice. This is a nice energy to have. So like you're pursuing your passions. For those of you that have gotten the job offer from the King of Swords, this is you looking to the future, listening to your intuition, being guided by what your heart tells you is the best course of action. For those of you pursuing relationships, I think that this is you. This is an interesting energy because with the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands, and like I said, I've said this before, there is no gender. So like if you're a man who's watching this, like this Queen of Wands could very well be you, and it doesn't matter that she's a queen. Same goes for women who are watching who might identify with the King of Swords energy. Just because it's man doesn't mean it's not, you. So I think that if this is a love reading, I think that the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands are gonna have a little bit of like, it's gonna be a little bit difficult at the beginning. And let me tell you why. Because the King of Swords is looking straight ahead. He's in the present moment. He's not looking at the past. He's not looking to the future. He's looking straight ahead. And this could go either way. If this is you or if this is the person that you're talking to. Same for this one. If this is you or the person that you're talking to, it's still the same energy. So take it where you need it. This King of Swords is very logical, is kind of alpha, comes off as a little bit cold, could in fact be an air sign, but doesn't have to be. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini could have air sign qualities. So sometimes air signs can be a little bit aloof. I love air signs. My best friend, my mother are Aquarians. I have a Gemini rising. Some of my best friends are Geminis, so it's not a bad thing. but it sometimes means like if this is you because you've been hurt in the past, you might be a little bit cold in getting yourself out there again. If this is somebody who you're entertaining as a love interest, this is someone who can come off as a little bit cold to you because I feel like this is warm. If this is you, you are warm. If this is the person that you're pursuing, they are warm. This is fire sign energy. So Sagittarius, oh my goodness, what's the fire sign? Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. So passionate, adventurous. So I feel like there could be a little bit of butting heads. And I feel like it's going to take some work. So working hard at this relationship. If this is a work reading, it kind of changes the game a little bit in that the King of Swords is boss energy. So here's this person coming in offering you a job, and you passionately pursue what they're offering you. So that makes sense. It's not bad. And then that has you working really hard at the new job, which I think could be coming to you in August. If you go through like July and all the paperwork that comes with, getting a new job and whatnot, you might be starting a new job by August. So that kind of changes the game a little bit. But if this is a relationship reading, because the two of you are kind of at opposing ends with where you are energetically, it takes some work. And you feel it. But you think that it's something worth working for, so you put in the effort. What you're looking for is the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is the new opportunity in love. And because it's in reverse, I want to say that you're working really hard at it, but you feel like it's slow to come. Like, you have that spark, but it's like you can't seem to chisel their heart out of, I don't want to say out of stone because that's really aggressive, but like you feel as though their heart is encased in something that's holding them back, or your heart is encased in something that's holding you back. And so like the thing that lets you let go and makes the cup run over with love, like it's hard to get there. But if this is a work reading, this is, like I said before, I feel like for some of you, the new job is coming in August, and July is about, with the Justice card and the King of Swords, because we got swords there, I want to say that, it's going to take a while for the paperwork to get signed. You could be starting as soon as July, but like contracts and all that kind of stuff get signed throughout July. And so it's just taking a little bit of time to get to the new opportunity. But it's there. It's there for you. And finally, the outcome of all of this is the Magician. So the Magician can be a few different things. So sometimes people see the Magician as a trickster card. So either the King of Swords or the Queen of Wands, depending on who they are in your life, if this is a relationship reading, can turn out to be a trickster. You can turn out to be the trickster. I personally believe that the Magician is the brand new you. So I think that whether it's a work reading or a love reading, I think that this July has you learning a lot of new things about yourself. I think that this relationship that you embark on with this new person, if that's the case, teaches you a lot about yourself. I think that the new work opportunity teaches you a lot about yourself. I think that also you're coming into August realizing that you have everything you need to have a happy life, and then playing on that throughout August. So, here you are at work, people don't know you there, you can reinvent yourself. Same in a relationship. This person doesn't know you. They've never met you before. Y'all are strangers. So this is like the energy of reinventing yourself. So July is all with the idea of reinvention in mind, whether you mean for it to be or not. That's what the universe is pushing you toward. But it's a really great month. So let's see. I want to see about that King of Swords. Who dat? Alright, I just need 3 clarification cards. But it's a really nice energy surrounding you for the month. It's a very happy time. You're really working on yourselves. You're listening to yourselves. I think that a lot of you put other people ahead of yourselves for a long time, and then were disappointed when those people didn't come through for you. And this is true, work, relationships, the like. So let's see. I think we got like 3 more shuffles for these cards. So the King of Swords, what's his deal? Or her deal? What's the King of Swords' deal? Wait. Alright, so we got the Luck card. So I think that there's a connection between you and this person right off the bat. Yeah. The Knight. And one more. Oh my goodness. Alright. And the Coffin. Not bad. Coffin is not bad. Alright, so let's take a look at these 3 cards. So I think that, and this makes total sense, so I think that right off the bat, with that Luck card, with the Clover card, you have an instant connection with this person. And you feel like there's just, like, you know how people say when you meet the one you just know? I feel like that's kind of like there's a spark between the 2 of you. And this person comes in and they say all the right things, they do all the right things, they're incredibly charming. Like I said, this could also be you, that like you meet somebody and there's a lot of luck surrounding that relationship, and like you're the one saying all the right things and doing all the right things, and it leads to this new beginning. And that's true also if you think about a job. Like, you find this job, you're interviewing with the person, everything seems to be going amazingly. They come in with an offer. I feel like, you know, the knight in shining armor, so to speak, this idea of being saved somehow. Maybe that's not the best way to say it. I don't mean to offend anybody by saying that. But, you know, if you're in a position where you're a little nervous about finances, or if you're going to find another job, you know, here's this person who's coming in making an offer so that you can have a new beginning. That's what the Coffin means. So I think that's all lovely. But like I said, this relationship, if it is a love reading, is going to be a little bit of work, because this person, you know, either you're the cold one or they're the cold one, but there's, the emotions are a little bit disparate. I can never say it right because it's not desperate. Alright. Okay. So, the final card, the card of advice, is the 9 of Thoughts. So I want to say that in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, that equates to the 9 of Swords. So this is what the card looks like. I'm going to read what's on it. So stop being so hard on yourself and turn your thoughts toward the positive. There's no need to worry. Anticipating the worst isn't helpful. Know that heaven, or whatever you believe in, will provide a solution. If you're experiencing sleepless nights or anxiety over a challenge in your life, release the problem to your angels. So the final, there's a little book here that goes along with it. So let's see what it says in the book. 9 of Thoughts. So, there's no reason to worry. Your focus on your fears and feelings of uncertainty is misleading you into expecting the worst. It's time to change your thoughts into something more positive and uplifting. Anticipate only your highest hopes and dreams, and the divine law of attraction will bring them to you. Please don't be so hard on yourself. Nothing is to be gained by reliving the past over and over. Release what was, and instead reach out with loving arms to what is and what can be. Additional meanings of this card: sleepless nights, the need for optimism, torturing yourself needlessly, useless guilt, and taking on more than is necessary. So, Capricorns, I am so excited for what July has to bring you guys. I think that it's going to be an extremely magical period of time for you that helps you hit the reset button by the time you guys get to August. So, please keep me in the know in the comment section about what's going on in your lives and if this resonated with you. Also, please feel free to send me an email at intuitivetarotempath@gmail.com if you would like to contact me for any reason. I always love to hear your questions. I love to hear your stories. I love all of it. And if you enjoyed this reading as much as I enjoyed doing this reading for you and you're interested in a personal reading, you can check out my website at www.intuitivetarotempath.com. I will leave all the information in the description box below this video. All right, guys, have an amazing July, and I'll see you in August. Bye.